Welcome to the Security Deposit Program application walkthrough. This program exists to help low-income individuals obtain assistance through the Tenant-Based Rental Assistance Program, a home program administered by the state of North Dakota. This grant provides assistance for rental and utility deposits. The maximum security deposit allowed is $300 and must not exceed 1 month's rent. Only tenants may apply for assistance. However, the payment will be made directly to the landlord or utility provider. Tenants cannot have resided in the unit more than 30 days and cannot have received this grant in the last 2 years to qualify for the program. In this walkthrough, we will review the application process, delving into specific portions of the application as we go along. We will also review the necessary verifications and paperwork. There are several key steps to the application process. First and foremost, be sure to completely fill out and sign the application. Be sure to fill out the disbursement form and have all adults sign the release of information. If applying for a utility deposit, complete the utility deposit verification. Keep in mind that the total deposit amount cannot exceed $300. Submit income and asset verifications. We will review the appropriate verifications later on. You will need to work with your landlord to obtain a signed copy of your lease, the completed lead-based paint form, and the request for tenancy paperwork. Be sure to review the prohibited lease clauses addendum. If you are deemed eligible after screening, you will need to complete inspection requirements, after which your deposit payment will be dispersed to your landlord. In order to qualify for assistance under the Security Deposit Program, applicants must fall within certain income requirements. Income is calculated on HUD's adjusted income rules. The income limits are based on the number of individuals in the household. These limits are separate from the income limits set under the Section 8 housing program, so keep in mind you may qualify for one, but not the other. The first section of the application that you will need to fill out is the application information. Make sure to provide a working phone number or email so that the housing authority can contact you. Provide alternate contact information if necessary, such as listing a spouse, payee, or anyone else helping you with the application process. When completing the application, be sure to submit your information in full about income, assets, and family composition, as well as other data requested in the application. Be sure all adults sign this section of the application, ensuring that all information provided is true and correct to the best of your knowledge. Next, provide us with your household information. This page of the form has sections for each member of the household to be listed. All adults and minors in the household should be included in this portion. Be sure to fill out each column for each household member. The only case in which a family member may not have a gender, age, date of birth, or social security number listed is if they are an unborn child. On the bottom half of the household information page are more demographic questions. Be sure to check a box for each bolded section. Some sections may have more than one checked box. Now that you have completed the household information, the next step is reporting income. There are 2 types of income reported: earned and unearned. Earned income is any income you receive from employment. Fill out this section for all jobs for all adults in the household. If you need more space, feel free to attach additional pages. This information must be from the 2 previous months and must be verified by pay stubs. Be sure to submit income verifications for any earned income listed. Households may have unearned income as well. Unearned income comes from sources such as Social Security, child support, and food stamps. Eligibility is calculated on all sources of money received by you or money received by you on behalf of your children. Another form of unearned income is contributions. If you regularly receive financial support from an individual or organization, this is considered a contribution and must be reported. Any income listed in this portion of the application must have corresponding verification as well. For example, if you receive Social Security income, you would need to provide a copy of your letter from Social Security showing the amount you receive. Once you have reported your income, you will need to complete the asset portion of the application. If more than 2 household members have assets, be sure to attach additional pages with that information. Assets are things like bank accounts, burial funds, and property. Once again, if you list something in this section, be sure to provide a verification, such as the most recent bank statement for a checking account. You may have expenses that can be taken into consideration for your application. If you have monthly medical expenses, medical insurance, pay spousal or child support, or pay for childcare, you may be eligible. List those expenses on this section of the application and include verifications of those expenses, and the office will review them along with your application. In order to disperse your security deposit assistance, we need to know where it is going. One way we ensure this is through the disbursement form. Provide your landlord's name, the landlord's mailing address, their phone number, and the deposit amount needed for the rental unit, not to exceed $300. If you will be using a portion of the available $300 for a utility deposit, provide the same information for the utility company, as well as a verification from the utility company of the required deposit amount. The total of the 2 deposits cannot exceed $300. Included in the application is the Prohibited Lease Clauses Addendum. Please review this before submitting your application. If you or your landlord have any questions regarding this, please let the office know. The Prohibited Lease Clauses Addendum is a HUD requirement and cannot be waived. Your landlord will need to complete 2 forms, the lead-based paint form and the request for tenancy. The lead-based paint form requires initials by the lessor, which is the landlord, and the lessee, which is you. Your landlord will also need to complete the request for tenancy form, pictured here. Be sure to provide your landlord with this form and return the completed form to the office. If you have no earned or unearned income, you will need to fill out the zero income form. This form comes with the deposit application and does not need to be filled out if you have reported income. However, if you receive any contributions, be sure to list that information here. All adults in the household will need to sign the Release of Information form. This allows HUD or the Housing Authority to obtain information regarding your application. Once the completed application is received, Great Plains Housing Authority will review each applicant's income, expenses, lease, and history to determine if the client is eligible. The office will notify the client if approved. If denied, a written letter of denial is sent explaining the reason for denial and steps for appealing the decision. If you are a tenant receiving housing assistance, we will need to obtain a copy of your property inspection from your Section 8 coordinator. If you are not receiving housing assistance, we will need to set up an inspection date and time. The client or landlord should be present during the inspection. If the unit does not pass inspection, the landlord is informed as to what needs to be done to bring the unit up to standards. Security deposit payment cannot be made unless the landlord corrects the failed items. If the landlord chooses not to correct the items, the applicant is instructed to keep looking for a suitable place. Let's review what you need to fill out for the application and what you need to turn in to the office. First, you will need to fill out the application and household information, the appropriate income forms, the asset section, and the disbursement form. Be sure to sign all parts of the application, including the release of information. Provide your landlord the lead-based paint form and the request for tenancy. You will need to return your completed application to the office. Included with the application, you must provide asset and income verifications, a signed lease, and the landlord completed forms. If Great Plains Housing Authority denies the applicant, A written denial is sent explaining the reason for the denial and giving the applicant an opportunity to appeal the decision. Denial letters are sent within 5 working days from the date of application. The applicant has 10 days from the date of the denial letter to appeal the decision in writing. Great Plains Housing Authority will review the request and determine if the denial should be overturned, upheld, or reviewed by a third-party official. If there is a third-party official, the client will have an opportunity to explain the request to the official. Great Plains Housing Authority does not have to follow the recommendation of the third-party official. Appeal letters received after the 10 days will be automatically denied. If you have any questions regarding this process, please feel free to reach out to the office by mailing us at the address listed here, emailing office@greatplainsha.com, or giving us a call at 701-252-1098. Thank you for watching this video, and we hope to hear from you soon.